The Chad Gable push might be here. Raw is over. Let's talk about it. It was seeming like Chad Gable was on SmackDown, but now he's also appearing on Raw, so he might be on both brands, which I would really love. He can be the workhorse of the mid-card, a staple of the mid-card going into SummerSlam in Minneapolis, his hometown. He apologized to Penta, he apologized to Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. It is seeming like he is making friends with all of the luchadors now, and he is clearly now a babyface, which I love for him. Again, especially going into SummerSlam that is in his hometown. We had a match between Penta and Rey Mysterio for the IC title, which, by the way, this match was absolutely insane. Incredible match. Penta ended up retaining, but after the match, Rusev and Ethan Page came in to take out both of them, and Rusev took off Rey Mysterio's mask. Dragon Lee wasn't able to make the save, so Chad Gable, now seeming like he is the king of the luchadors, except of course Daddy Dom, came out to make the save, absolutely delivering some nasty German suplexes to Ethan Page and Rusev, just delivering them with ease. The strength of this man is just incredible, and I'm really hoping WWE now sees the value in a guy like Chad Gable, and he actually finally gets a push and even gets to the main event. And then he gave the mask back to Penta so that they could put it back on Rey Mysterio. Clearly a babyface, and I am just so excited and so hopeful. Call me naive, but I am going to hope and pray that this is the start of the Chad Gable push. He also got a new theme song. I didn't really hear it very well because, first of all, it only played for like 10 seconds, but also there was chaos happening, so I don't know if it's really good or bad. Also, a new Titantron, which I like. Just everything that Chad Gable did on this episode was incredible, and I'm praying that this is the start of Chad Gable's push. That is so much well-deserved and so overdue. The show kicked off with Oba Femi. He cut an amazing promo, as he always does, before he was interrupted by the king of the luchadores, Dirty Dominic Mysterio. He also cut a good promo. JD McDonough came in to whack Oba Femi in the back with a chair, and he just didn't even get affected, which I loved. It made him look like a beast, and then he just punched the chair, and it slammed into JD's face, which was awesome. Dom hit the 619, but Oba Femi ended up on top. Incredible for everyone involved, and I think it's very likely that Oba Femi does win next week. The only reason I could see him not winning is because of Brock Lesnar, but I don't know if they're going to do that here or save it for the finals. Also, another question I have, both the King and Queen of the Ring semifinals are next week, and both of them are on Raw. Why is one of them at least not on SmackDown? Do they not understand? SmackDown needs matches. SmackDown needs good stuff. I really don't understand it. At least have one on there. There's 2 matches. It makes sense to have one on each brand. Then we had a backstage segment with Seth Rollins getting interviewed by Jackie Redmond, and he basically hinted at challenging Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. Basically said if he does win King of the Ring, he is going after Roman Reigns. And it's heavily rumored that this is going to be the match. I cannot wait. I really hope this match does happen, especially selfishly as a gigantic Roman Reigns fan at SummerSlam, where I'm going to be there in the great state of Minnesota. And we will finally get this match on a huge stage, which I would just love. Then we had an absolute heater of a match in the Fatal 4-Way Queen of the Ring tournament between Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Chelsea Green, and the world champion Liv Morgan. And you are not going to believe this. Everybody was complaining about Liv Morgan being added to the Queen of the Ring tournament. Rightfully so, because she's the world champion. And WWE saw that and decided, you know what? I have an idea. Let's have her win the match! Why in the world is Liv Morgan advancing? This was an amazing episode of Raw, but this was horrible. Why would you have... Truly terrible. Why would you have her win? It genuinely doesn't make sense. This was a horrible, truly terrible decision, especially since now she has to take a pin to lose. Because there's no way she's winning, right? Hopefully. But there's no way she's winning, hopefully. So now she's getting put in one-on-one matches. So now you just forced your women's world champion to have to take a completely unnecessary pin. It's so stupid. This kind of just felt like a swerve for the sake of a swerve, and it's not, like, it's just not even a good swerve. Next, we had a promo with L.A. Knight. Yeah! An amazing promo, you know, standard LA Knight yeah stuff. He was interrupted by Jey Uso Yeet. Jay just basically said, just saying he needs to, LA Knight needs to stay in his lane, and he doesn't need luck to win this Friday. And things got juicy. As Jay was walking out, LA Knight said, "Screw your family." And oh boy, I'm liking this. Things are getting juicy between LA Knight and the Usos. Bars. And now that LA Knight, talked about the bloodline and his family, things are about to get real juicy. Because everybody knows anytime you talk about the bloodline and their family, you're cooked, bud. Jay tried to go in and fight with him, but Jimmy stopped him. I'm really excited to see how this feud gets paid off. Probably Jay versus LA Knight at SummerSlam, I'm assuming. For some reason, WWE didn't post a single thing about Soruka versus Lyra Valkyria, which is crazy, especially since it was not only for a title, but it was a near match of the year contender. This match was insane. Literally every match on this show was incredible. I loved every second of this match. Match of the year contender so far. Soruka ended up retaining. Definitely the right choice, the right decision. Not much else to talk about, just an amazing match. Then we had the main event match, which was incredible. So many awesome spots. Just amazing. And I think everybody, their mom and their dog, expected Seth Rollins to win this. And rightfully so, especially with the rumors of Seth Rollins facing Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. But they pulled a huge swerve. The Vision ended up costing Seth Rollins the match, and Javon Evans picked up the win, which honestly, it looks like we aren't getting Roman versus Seth then, which I am really mad about. I'm hoping they still find some kind of way to do this, because again, I am very concerned this match is never going to happen at a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam, and that's what WWE is waiting for. They want to do it then, and someone is always injured or not available. But Javon Evans winning is extremely interesting, and I honestly have no clue who's going to win King of the Ring now. It is very up in the air. I would say Obafemi, but Brock Lesnar exists. So, you know, I really don't know what is going to go down with this. Right now, we have Dom, Oba, and Javon Evans still in the tournament, and then we have a match this Friday between Jay, LA Knight, Royce Keys, and Finn Balor this Friday. I really don't know who's going to win this. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to win the King of the Ring, because now that both Seth and Braun aren't in the tournament, I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, this episode of Raw was incredible. Thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want, and